checking out this 10th hole, Frank. Is this a typo? 592 yards, but it's a par 4, not a par 5. What gives?
The reason why that tee shot, severe elevation, so we can at least sort of chew 30 or 40 yards off that number. But I'm not saying this hole's short, that's for sure. So that bunker just at the start of the fairway on the left certainly comes into play. The other feature, or interesting feature here at 10, is the shared green. This green shares that little piece of property with 13, just divided by that little pot bunker in the middle.
That is just a beautiful shot. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. Long and straight, about 320 yards, and in the fairway. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It was an awkward length.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. So coming off a birdie on the last hole. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
He's out of the sand, Frank, but it doesn't appear as though it's headed for the flagstick.
Yeah, just right of that.
It's a pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Has it. That's birdie. Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards, par 5. It might be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is how it's done, right there. What an approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
He's made it. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before. I have never played a par 5 of 700 or more yards. Here it is. Frank, high-level players are never terribly disappointed to play from the fringe, and that's where this ball has ended up.
Yeah, it could have been better, it could have been worse, but in the end, you just got nothing much you can do about it now. A couple of choices coming up.
Solid play, heart of the green. Just a couple of feet. Solid par. '15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand, left, and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that really the only problem is if you go long.
He's going to have to find something, Frank, other than the rough.
Yeah, he's hitting it right and he's hitting it left, but when you've got to go out of both barrels, the game becomes hard.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There was hope. And on the top 25. A cursory look at the scorecard, Rich, and well, it looks hard at 240 yards, but that elevation is going to chew off quite a bit of yardage off the scorecard. Really, it's a good chance for a birdie on this closing stretch. V-shaped green, as long as you're on the right section of the green, could have a chance for birdie.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Even par currently.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Well, Frank, I love this par 5 17th. Not only is it fun to play, but if you head over the Juniata Crossway Bridge ahead, you can find Brent's Lobster Shack, which is one of the best lobster rolls I have ever had. And you know, they specialize in that up here in Maine. But what a hole. And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Pretty close. We'll be looking at about 15 feet for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. And with that birdie, moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard. Frank, we've made it to the finishing hole. If you're having a good day, you stop and you reflect for just a moment. The beauty surrounding you, how well you've played. If it hasn't gone all that well, you're thinking about jumping on the Juniata Crossway Bridge off to the left and getting out of Dodge.
Second shot.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly. So now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
That was a pretty nasty lie out of the rough. He did the right thing there, Frank. So, Frank, with this approach shot, you need to put it in there reasonably close and hope for a bogey.
Yeah, and that actually wouldn't be so bad. A string of mistakes, and just to minimize the damage to just one drop shot, you nearly give yourself a pat on the back. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Pretty good shot right there. Trying to put this hole behind him quickly. Double bogey putt. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
And with that, we bid you farewell from the shores of Maine for EA Sports. Alongside Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time.